Tinder is apparently having a height preference option now on their application, and it doesn't really seem like people are excited about this. So I ended up getting this idea from Maury because he talked about it, and I thought it was really interesting. It's a height filter. And so I wanted to go ahead and take a look at it to see what's going on. Obviously, Maury provided a source, which is the TechCrunch. So I want to go ahead and read it to see what's going on and to see what we can learn about this new height preference filter. Okay, so obviously this is by TechCrunch. The title is Tinder test letting users set a height preference. This is just a test. I don't know if this is I guess this is just kind of like more or less for this is a beta. It's not really like a part of the actual, or maybe it is. I don't know. I don't use Tinder, so I wouldn't know. Tinder Gold and Premium subscribers in the test group will have access to the feature, but not free users, we're told. In addition, the setting will indicate a preference rather than functioning as a hard filter. Rather than functioning as a hard filter, the company says. That means it won't actually block or exclude profiles, but instead inform recommendations. Okay. And then this is supposed to be what it looks like. So we have here age range, interested in women, age range 24 to 36. And then of course you need to have premium, discovery, Tinder platinum preference, show people who match your vibe, but won't limit who you see. You'll still be able to match with people outside of your selection. And then of course this is a new height filter. So it says here height, new, any height. And I'm sure that it's going to range anywhere from like 4 feet, because I think that's the lowest, perhaps, all the way up into like 7 feet. Minimum number of photos, 1. And obviously this is what the options look like. So the company may hope that the addition of a height setting could encourage more women. I knew it. I should have just made the prediction from the beginning. I knew they were doing this because they want more women to come onto the app. So if you guys don't know, there are less women in Tinder than there are men. There's about 70% men and only about 25% women. I should have made that. I should have made it. I should have made that prediction from the very beginning, because I had a feeling that this was the reason why women weren't on the dating app. Well, actually, this is one of many reasons. Obviously, the other reason is because apparently they get so many messages from men. They don't know. It inundates them with a ton of interactions, and they don't like that. Apparently, the company may hope that the addition of the height setting could encourage more women to use and pay for the app, which tends to be more heavily dominated by men both in the US and internationally. The test launch follows Tinder parent Match's recent earnings, which revealed a 5% fall in paying users. Good, because I hate Tinder, bro. I think what Tinder is doing is exceptionally horrible. So the fact that they're losing revenue is good, in my opinion, okay? Because I hate Tinder. Although nowadays you meet someone online, you don't really meet them in person anymore, since nobody really wants to be approached anymore. But that's the culture we live in. Paid subscribers across Match's dating apps fell to 14.2 million in the first quarter, down from 14.9 million users a year ago. The company is in the middle of another CEO transition. The Match CEO, Spencer Rascoff, set to run Tinder 2 later this summer. Okay, so there's going to be another CEO. Okay, so I wanted to see, oh shoot, not on Twitter, because when you want people to be angry, you go to Twitter. Tinder height. I'll just leave it there. I'm sure that we're gonna get some pretty interesting. His Tinder date is 7 feet tall. This video is scripted, same guy. Okay, no. Okay, so we got here Dexerto, and then we're gonna go ahead and check to see other people as well. So we're definitely gonna get some people upset about this. Tinder is testing out a feature that lets users add high preference. 17K, holy crap. Okay, add weight preferences too while you're at it. Not gonna lie, that's kind of messed up because people can't control their height. Cool, now add weight preferences from us men. Next, they're gonna have inch preferences. You already know what he's trying to say. Imagine missing out on the love of your life because there are 2 inches shorter than some arbitrary number you punched in. Just in case any women were wondering how they should use this tool, here's a good assessment of male height. He's 5'11", the straightest height for men to be.
Other dudes all the time. Why do you need to be so high up? 5'11" is the straightest height for a man to be. Because once you start getting up there, it's like, what are you looking for up there? You know what is up there? Other dudes. If you're 6 foot, who else is gonna be 6 foot? Not women. Dudes. You're looking at other dudes all the time. Why do you need to be so high up? The best height for a man to be is 5'11". 6 foot, boring. 6 foot, I love to give people what they want. 5'11", now you're a trailblazer. You're pushing the boundaries. You're saying fuck the system. It's transgressive.
What is this, man? Is this some sort of motivation video? Because this is, I'm not trying to like downplay his, because there's probably more context to what he's saying, but just this clip alone is not convincing me of why 5'11" dudes are a trailblazer. And just in case you guys are like, oh well, you're just mad because you're not 5'11" or what? I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm 5'7". I don't give a shit.
Subversive, you know. It's.
I love that height, by the way. I don't like being super tall. Why would I want to be super tall? Why? I don't want to see. I don't want to be folded in half in my casket when I die. Okay, I don't want to be that tall.
Dangerous. But once you start going, lower than that, 5'10", 5'9", 5'8", that's when you start getting into female territory. That's when you start getting a little sort of.
How tall are you?
.511 is.
Oh my god! I don't know what the hell that was, but that was funny. Males can have height preferences for women too. Just saying. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, males can definitely have height preferences. Obviously, I think that there's there's a small portion of men who would want a woman taller than them. Okay, I don't think I mind it as much. But there's definitely a high preference for men as well. It's probably not as pronounced for men as it is for women, because for women, apparently it's a deal breaker. But for men, I don't think it's so much a deal breaker. So long as they can get in front of the woman and then they can have a conversation with them, I'm sure that potentially they wouldn't mind the height thing. So hard to imagine a 5'9" guy wants a girl that is 5'1" and not like 5'5". That's another issue as well, where men probably don't want women that are shorter than a certain height, probably 5'5". I personally wouldn't want a woman that's 5'1" or close to 4'11", 4'9". I would not want a woman at that height. Okay, I would want somebody relatively close to my height. So yeah, probably 5'5", 5'6" is fine. I don't care. Probably even 5'7". They can add a weight preference. Short guys are the best. They try so hard. We need the weight preferences as well. We can't be having elephants and mammoths anywhere near that app. That's funny. What about height limit? No trans users. That's crazy. Sorry, short kings, you're cooked. I've never understood why girls care so much about height. I'd much rather know if the guy's a serial killer or not. I mean, yeah, but I mean, I'm sure that those women too care about height and would want to know whether the guy's a serial killer or not. Yeah, so obviously a lot of people, this is very controversial. A lot of people don't like this idea. If women can filter by height, men should be able to filter weight, except Tinder is desperate for women to join. You're not in any position to make demands because there's too many men on the app and not enough women. Why would they bother putting in a weight filter when you're going to use it anyways? Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, this whole thing is just very complex. Literally, like what this woman is saying here is, men don't have no leverage. They don't have any leverage on this website because men are the majority. And yeah, this is what happens when men do this kind of stuff, when they're the ones who are dominating this market. When you guys go out there and you guys go and donate to all of these OnlyFans models, you guys lose a lot of leverage to really make a change. So this, I agree. Yeah, overall, man, it seems that a lot of people are very upset about this. No one's talking about the benefits of all of this. What are the benefits from this? I mean, filter out the men that are, I mean, there could potentially be unintended consequences, such as men lying, which men seem to, at least according to some studies, men don't really seem to mind all too much about using deceptive tactics to get what they want. Although women too are probably on the rise as well when it comes to using deceptive tactics. But for the most part, yeah, men don't have leverage when it comes to Tinder. And Tinder is doing everything they can to make the ratio of men and women even. I don't know if this is going to alleviate that, but it's definitely going to stir up some sort of controversy. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that, man. I think that personally, I think this is not the way to do it, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong about this. I don't like this change, by the way. I think that there has to be some other way to promote, because at the end of the day, promotion and marketing is very important. But if this is your way of attempting to bring back all of these female users, then I think we're all doomed. We really are all doomed, and we're fucked. So yeah, with that being said, man, yeah, that's my thoughts on that.